Hey everyone, thanks for coming back to the channel and thanks for checking out the Sharpener series. We are in the final post, so I'm just doing this video to attach it to the final review roundup of all the different ones. I'm judging on 5 categories: design and looks, point and collar length, pencil protection, the amount removed, and the sound that it makes. So to start, I guess we can talk about the design and looks. I have all 4 sharpeners here in front of me, and I'll just kind of lift them to the camera. As you can see, I was kind of taking some pictures and filming some stuff back there. But I thought maybe this way would be a better way of kind of just showing what I was talking about. All of these sharpeners are kind of different in as far as the looks go. This Derwent long point is basically, the same as the Carl Angle 5 or the classroom friendly. And then there is the Mitsubishi KH20. Both of these have the prongs on top. And then you have the Carl CP90, which just has the button on the side. You can see there, button on the side. And then the Dahl 133 also with the button on the side. So, design-wise, on these with the prongs, the right prong is the only one that moves. So it would be, as you're facing it, you're right. That's the only one that moves. The left prong is there really to just kind of create leverage for when you're pushing it, because if it's just sitting on your desk and you try to push it, it's going to push it over. So it's to create a counter leverage to kind of push it. The button ones, like the Dahl here, when you pull it out, you have to basically grasp the other side and push it. Now your pencil's going to be on that side, so what you're going to kind of have to do is take your left hand and push it, and then put the pencil in like so, and then let it go when it sits. So both of these, that once you get the pencil in and they're clamped to a desk, they're pretty much one-handed operation. However, to be able to open the clamp and put the pencil in, you do need 2 hands to do that. A lot of these do claim like one-handed operation, but that's actually only once you get the pencil in. So the Derwent and the Mitsubishi are similar in size. The Mitsubishi is lighter, but it is bigger because this is plastic and this is all metal. However, the Mitsubishi sharpening tray is way bigger than the Derwent sharpening tray, so much so that the Derwent fits inside of it. So I would say it probably holds like 1.5 to 2 times the amount of shavings. The Dahl sharpener, the shaving tray on it is probably my least favorite, because all the shavings, they all just kind of fall in the back here. And so they all kind of sit back here and pile up, and there'll be a little bit in the front, but you can't really, if you're looking at it, you won't really tell. And then as you pull, you're like, maybe it's getting full, I need to pull it out. You pull it out, all the shavings catch right here, and then they flop around and fall out of the back of the drawer. So unless you're, cognizant of that and know that you need to kind of like pick it up and tilt it forward a little bit so that the shavings go towards the front of the drawer, you can have some issues, some messy issues. Also, all of these are designed to fit with a clamp on your desk. So like this bit goes in the back, and then you tighten that up and it clamps on your desk there. If you have it clamped, it's impossible to move that and dump it. So I feel like that sharpener tray is kind of a bad design on the Dahl. On the CP90, the sharpener tray is fairly small. And let's see if I can really kind of get it. You can't really see it very well there. There, use that light as a silhouette. But it's got this kind of like T shape, and shavings get caught in everywhere in this thing. It also has like a little, divot there. Let's see, yeah, there you can see it. That kind of is where the channel where the um, brace thing goes, the clamp goes. So this has to fit over that. All of those kind of have that in this. Yeah, they all kind of have that little thing. So the so looks wise, I mean, like, so that's kind of like the design considerations, but looks wise, I think my favorite one is the CP80. It's just everything's flush kind of rectangle, and with just the little button. You can get this in red or blue too, but I like the all black one. Only like the front will still remain black, but it's just the side kind of panel thing here is the different color. So let's see here. Next, we'll talk about point and collar length. So obviously, this is kind of a subjective thing, what you like. This is a long point sharpener review roundup. So obviously, we're all talking about long points, but there are differences within these points. You have the KH20, the Mitsubishi KH20, which kind of has just kind of a regular straight long point, like it's not angled at all. I don't know if this is going to focus or not, probably not. And then you have stuff as extreme as the Derwent, which is the classroom friendly Carl Angel 5 style. And then you have one as small as the Doll or Dela. I'm not sure exactly. I think that I just call it Doll, but I think it's Dela maybe. Anyway, they have like a shorter point, but it's much more concave, so it does, or it has a shorter collar, not a shorter point, but it does take away a lot of wood and expose a lot of core. It's kind of depending on what you like. My favorite is the CP80 because it actually just kind of it runs between the middle of all these extremes. Since the Mitsubishi isn't concave, it kind of has a little bit of an issue with like wood creep, and the point is not symmetrical. Like one side is kind of straighter than the other, and it doesn't actually expose that much core. It actually exposes just as much core or a little bit less than the Doll, which has the shortest collar of all. The classroom friendly or Derwent, it exposes a lot of core and it gets it down to a needle point, but that first little bit is going to break off with my hand pressure is going to break off in the first like 2 words. So this Carl CP80 kind of sits right in the middle of everything, and it's kind of perfect for that. So that one is my favorite, but it's obviously up to you. If you have a lighter hand and you like a needle point, maybe that Derwent one is the one for you. As far as pencil protection, there's only one real loser, and it is the Derwent, classroom friendly, the Carl Angel 5. They all have the same problem. Exposed metal teeth in there, and you can see that right in there, and that just chews the hell out of your pencil. We've all you can see the dots all over that. And that's just from sharpening it a couple times. This here was the initial sharpen, and then these 2 little stages here are from, these 2 stages here are from sharpening it after it's been sharpened once, and then sharpening it after it's been sharpened again. And it just kind of will dance up the shaft the rest of the way. So the rest of them are all rubber tipped on the teeth. I don't know if you can see that or not, but they are all rubber tipped. So they do not do that, but the Derwent does do that. So, and really that section, I don't really have a clear winner They all are winners because they protect the pencil, but the Derwent eats the shit out of it. So one of the things that I wanted to talk about more than anything is the amount of sharpening it does. I've always noticed with like a hand sharpener, like a Pollux or a Cume Masterpiece or a Cume Automatic, like so they take off the two cumes anyway because they're two-stage sharpeners. They take off a lot of wood and then you have to sharpen the core afterwards. And it just seems like a lot of waste to me. It looks like it's a lot of waste. It may not be, but it looks like it. And so I did like the Pollux because you could kind of sharpen both at the same time. So, and with these hand crank sharpeners, obviously it's just one stage. But I wanted to see which one was like the most thrifty on removing your wood. And if you are reading the post, you'll see that the Dahl 133 is the hands down winner of that. Probably has a lot to do with the shorter collar, but in my calculations, I weighed the pencil before it was sharpened, and then weighed it after the initial sharpening, which would take off a lot more than resharpening the pencil after. So, but the Dahl won that one. It only took away 4.1% of the pencil weight. And then in the second sharpening, it only took away 1.8% of the sharpening weight. The worst one for both sections was the Derwent long point. Now, obviously, it's because it has a lot of a longer point, but I was actually, and so it should lose the initial one, but I was surprised of how much it took in the second sharpen or the subsequent sharpenings. It took 3.4% of the pencil weight in subsequent sharpenings, and in the first sharpen took 5.8% of the pencil weight. So clearly the winner is the Dahl. Second place is actually the Mitsubishi KH20, which does have a long point but leaves a lot of wood behind. So that would be that. Let's see here. So the fifth part was the sound, and with the sound here, I'm not going to do it on this video. I actually have recorded the sounds and placed them in the post, but they are, they're all within each other, but there is one clear winner, and the clear winner is the Mitsubishi KH20. It is really a solid kind of piece, but it is super quiet. It has like a nice like full foam bottom there, so that helps it a lot. And it is clearly way more silent than the rest of them. So overall, between like all the different winners, losers here and there, I had to actually pick the Carl CP90 as my favorite. It won two sections outright. The design for me and the point and collar length. And it was also, it has rubber teeth just like the 133 or the Mitsubishi, so it kind of won or shares the category with that. It was, I think, third in the amount removed. So it does remove a lot, but it is a long point, kind of, just past needle point or just on the not needle side of needle point. And sound wise, it was kind of in the middle. So, but being kind of in the lead of three categories, I thought that it was the winner for me. It is my newest sharpener. I got it a few months ago. So I haven't lived with it forever. But I liked it enough to where I'm probably going to buy a second one to give away as a gift to somebody that I know. And I liked it enough to check out other Carl items. So I just got this Carl CP90 in the mail. maybe like less than a week ago. Didn't put this on the review. It's too close to the CP80, except for it doesn't have rubber teeth, so it does eat into the pencil. And I bought it because in the Amazon description, the Carl CP80 says it has a short point, and the Carl CP90 says it has a long point. They're exactly the same. They're equal. So I don't know what is going on with that, but I thought, I was like, wow, if this is, a longer point, what's it gonna look like? So I had to like check it out, but it's basically the same. I think really the only difference is that there is the design look of it, but then that there is no rubber teeth. So the CP90 is not as good as the CP80 in my opinion. But I'll probably do a review comparison of those two, maybe next month or something, once I've lived with the Carl CP90 for a while. Now it says in the Amazon review that the CP90 is that the spring in there isn't or strong enough and the teeth aren't strong enough to break through the lacquer, but that's complete BS. It definitely just, it's not as bad as the Derwent, but it is definitely bad in relative terms. One thing that I could say that I hate and love about each sharpener, and then we'll end the video. I hate the fact that the bottom here has like the little four stick on tabs that kind of help it from sliding around, and they have just morphed into goo, and then they leave spots on your desk. I don't like that at all. I do love that this makes a really long point, but not quite the needle point, because I always snap it off anyway with my pencil pressure. So it makes the perfect point for me. It's rubber tipped. The drawer is big enough to hold, and it doesn't spill out everywhere. It will catch some in like this little T part, especially. It will catch some there. But I do love that one for sure. The doll. I hate the drawer on this thing. It spills out stuff everywhere. And the one thing I do like about it, I just like the overall look of it. It's short, it's small. But I also like that you can change the point. This one has, it can go really, really short, which works out really well for something like this. This is this is branded Bill Waverly color, but I think this is a Musgrave Harvest, like blue and red. So this was sharpened with the short point there, and it works good for like thicker cores. So anything with like a really thick core, the doll does a really good job of. I really like the Staedtler Norica Black, the 2014 Norica with the really thick core. I really like that in this sharpener. I'll kind of do one real quick and show you. I think I broke the point pulling it out of there. Too many things on my desk. Yeah, I really like that point in this, because with the thicker core, it just exposes that much more, and it's really good. So that's my favorite sharpener for my favorite pencil. The Mitsubishi, I don't really like a lot about this one. I like that it has a big drawer that can hold a lot of shavings, and I like that it's rubber tipped. But I have two others that are rubber tipped. It does have a switch on the back that's if you push it in, it's shorter point, and then if you push it out, it's the longer point. But this is one, I got this one because everybody raved about it, and it was expensive, and it was made by a good company that makes great pencils. I was like, man, this is going to be great. But the point on these things is just ugly to me. I like a concave point. This is more straight. It doesn't really sharpen at all centered. Like it can make a extremely centered pencil look uncentered because it, I mean, I don't know if you can see that there, but it's just like it sharpens one side really straight and then another side, I don't know, it's weird. um, I'm not a big fan of this one at all. It was my first long point sharpener, but not a big fan. And then the Derwent, aka Classroom Friendly, aka Carl Angel 5, aka Hungry Crocodile, according to Johnny Gamber at Pencil Revolution. This thing makes a phenomenal point. I always break off the needle part of it though. Like, so I'm going to sharpen more on a point like this because this point will break off, like, you know, the first like little bit in 3 words for me. I just have that kind of pressure, heavy hand. Um, so it's kind of worthless for that. For me, obviously, what I hate about this sharpener is the metal teeth, but I love the point. If I could handle the point better, I would probably pick this as my sharpener and try to find a way to fix something with those teeth. But I wonder if I took a little bit of like that Flex Seal stuff you can find on like on all the infomercials and stuff, and put some on a Q-tip and put it in there. I don't want to ruin this because it was expensive. That's the other thing. This is the most expensive of the bunch. But yeah, so that's what I like and don't like about that sharpener. So thanks for checking it out. I think my overall favorite sharpener is the CP90. So I can get a little better look at it. You can see the outside there. I have a sneaking suspicion that this is been discontinued. They are still available on Amazon. Somebody posted in the Erasable group that it was like, oh crap, it's back on Amazon. Check, you got to get one because I think they're discontinued. So, and they aren't on their website. So yeah, it looks like it's been discontinued. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe that's just what has happened. The thing about the Carl and the Derwent, or Classroom Friendly, those are all made by one company. All the Carl sharpeners and any sharpener that you find that looks like this, whether it's from Helix or Derwent or Classroom Friendly or the Carl Angel 5, they're all made by one company called like Sunwood in China. I found their website and went to it on my phone. Everything was fine. I would try to go to it on my desktop on my iMac, and there was a problem. It's Google said, like, don't go to this website. It's got malicious stuff. So it is a Chinese website. They do have an English version of it. So I looked at all that stuff on my phone, and I saw the Carl CP90, I saw the Carl Angel 5, I saw the Carl CP80, like all those designs. I did not see the Mitsubishi or the Doll or the Dela. I did see some that looked similar to the Dela, but not to the other ones that they make, like the 155 or one of the others. I didn't see anything that looked like those, so I'm not sure. I did do a little research to see about the Dela, whether it was made, in Germany or not, but I couldn't really find anything. And the Mitsubishi, it says real big on the bottom that it's made in China, so don't know who is making that, but it doesn't seem like it's the Sunwood company. So, but they do make a lot of different sharpeners. So, anyway, thanks for watching, and I think maybe the next video will be a couple more pencil reviews. And thanks for checking out all of the Sharpener series this week. If you liked it, please subscribe. Please put a thumbs up. Check out the Sharpener series. Leave some comments. I want to hear your thoughts about what you think about these sharpeners. Thanks for watching.